Shalom, peace. Welcome to another video. Today I wanted to speak about why sisterhood fails when there is a lack of accountability. Many sisters may not realize the importance of accountability when it comes to sisterhood. So I just want to speak about that today. I know that many women, when forming sisterhood and forming relationships, we all want to feel safe inside of those relationships, right? We want to be able to open up and know that the person that we're sharing with is not going to use that information to harm us in any sort of way. So feeling safe is very important. Feeling comfortable around someone is very important, because then, like, if you feel safe and you're able to be vulnerable, it's going to be a beautiful relationship, right? But when there is a lack of accountability, oftentimes the relationship lacks growth. So this is where we kind of teeter-totter and we kind of fall into those sort of relationships where it becomes fake and it lacks authenticity. If you're just formulating relationships with other sisters and your focus is primarily only on your comfort, always feeling safe, never wanting that person to express any sort of like truth or constructive criticism or anything like that, then you fall into potentially having a fake friend. Now, you have some sisters who value having what people may call a true friend, a real friend, where that person is able to share with that sister like what's really going on, what's really on their heart, what they really think, what they really see in that sister. Many times you may have relationships where you may notice that you'll have one sister who really pulls away and shies away from correction. That's a sign that they don't want a real relationship, because anytime that you try to be real or be more transparent and honest, they pull away, they either get defensive, they shut down. And many times that shutting down looks like just straight up telling you, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that. I'm not open to hearing any sort of criticism. They may just straight up say that to you, or they may just kind of just get quiet and get up and walk away. They may just go silent, stay there, but just kind of like pout or have an attitude. Or they may just be like, oh, if that's how you feel, if that's how you really feel, forget it. All right, well, I see how you really feel. So you can kind of tell that sister doesn't take criticism very well. So it kind of causes you to fall into a relationship where it's like, okay, I can't really tell this sister much. I can't really tell them anything. So I can't really build that true, real, authentic bond, because if I'm open up, being honest and sharing, I'll use a real example. I'll use a personal example for me. I don't necessarily like when other sisters call me girl. I know that's a term that's very common and other women use it, where they'd be like, oh, hey girl, like what you talking about, girl? Are you tripping, girl? I personally don't like that phrase. I don't like to be called a girl. I'm not a girl, I'm an adult. And I do get that the intentions of saying that doesn't necessarily, I'm not saying that it comes from an evil or ill intent or anything like that, but I personally just don't like to be called that. And I know that people say it and they have goodwill and good intent when they do say it, so that's fine. But if I had a friend and they use that term with me, if it's a real and true authentic relationship, I would express to them and say like, hey, do you mind not calling me girl? We can share any other terms or any other phrases we can use to refer to one another, but being called a girl, that's not with me. Now, if that sister is okay with being held accountable, then she would say, wow, like she may want to explore that with you, like, why you don't want to be called that? And you share with her like, yeah, it just reminds me of high school. It just don't sound right to me. I don't like to be called it. And she'd be like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. I won't call you that. What would you prefer to be called? And I can share with her what I prefer to be called. Boom, conversation is over, it's done. Now, if you have a sister where accountability is an issue, she may be like, oh, stop tripping, sis. Like, what's the big deal? Like, I'm not offending you. I'm not trying to offend you. No, I'm not trying to offend you. And you're like, I know you're not trying to offend me, but I don't like to be called that. And they're like, man, girl, you tripping, whatever. Like, you tripping. Like, I'm going to still call you that. That's an example of like how you can have a sisterhood that will remain stagnant, because you constantly have someone in your life that don't truly care about respecting the certain boundaries that you have. So I say all of that to say that when it comes to mature and healthy sisterhood, you really got to care about the other person. You really got to have a desire to want to work and maintain that relationship. If you do have a desire and care about that person, it would be no problem with saying like, oh, you know what? If that don't sit right with you, I care about you enough to stop saying it. It's not a big deal. That is required in order to have a healthy sisterhood. But when you have someone who cannot take accountability, they can't take any sort of criticism about something that they're doing that you may not like, it's very, very difficult to have a healthy, flourishing relationship with that person. And when you have fake relationships, and when they're not sincere and they're not rooted in truth, you're pretty much just feeding each other's egos. You're not calling for any sort of growth. And if you really care and really love a person, you will want them to want to open up and share truth with you and be real with you, show their real self and their real thoughts. But if you're blocking someone from doing that, then that means that you don't even want to receive love. You don't want to receive real love. You just want to receive fakeness, ego stroking. But a part of having a mature and healthy relationship is that you have to have healthy communication practices. There are rules to communication. There are certain rules that you don't break, and there are certain rules that you follow. So if you develop those sort of like skills and those sort of tools, then you will have a healthy and beautiful sisterhood that is rooted in truth, and that's starting from a healthy foundation. You want to have a sisterhood where that person values who you are, your structure, and how the Creator made you, and that's connected to the values that you have, the principles that you stand on. If you have someone who do not honor your boundaries, your principles, your integrity, watch out. They may want to be a fake friend in your life. So that's what I wanted to share in this video, and why accountability is important when it comes to healthy and authentic sisterhood. All right, peace.